Hey everybody, so I'm going to show you quickly how I remove the nail dashes. What you see me doing right now is just soaking my nails in hot soapy water. I use Mrs. Meyer's dish soap. That's just what I have on hand at home. A lot of people do use Dawn. Either one works, or I would just make sure that it's the type that cuts grease, because you want the dish soap to break down the nail glue. You can see me right here taking an orange stick and just working across the sides of the nail dash. You don't want to tear these off your nails. That is how you will ruin your nail beds. What I do is I work them off with either the orange stick, or I take this cuticle pusher that I got from a gel nail kit from Sensational Nail. It's one of my favorites, so I use that. And I just work off the dashes like you can see right here. Sometimes only half will lift off, so I don't force it off. I just soak them again, and then I go from there. And I just keep doing it until they all come off. Now, the amount of glue that you use during application is going to make a difference on the removal. I use a ton of glue, so it's going to take a little longer to soak them off. So what you see me doing here is I'm just pushing my cuticles back after I soak off the nails, and doing this is just going to make sure that the nail dashes adhere properly when you go to put them back on. So what I'm doing right here is I'm just prepping my nail before I add the dashes. So I'm filing the end of my nail, and now I'm taking the file and I'm using the gritty side of it to just roughen up the nail bed, and doing that makes sure that my dashes adhere properly to my nail for the amount of time that I like to keep them on for. So after I use the gritty side of the nail file, I take the pink side of it. This file does come in the box of the dashes that you purchase from me, and I just buff out the top and I buff out the bottom of my nail. The next thing that we do is we wipe our nails with rubbing alcohol or alcohol prep pads. Either one works fine. I personally like using what I have on hand. If I'm in the car though, we're at cheer practice and I'm doing my nails, I do just use an alcohol prep pad. And what this does is it just cleans your nail and preps them for the glue and the application of your dashes. So now we're ready to apply our nail dashes. What you see here is I lay out my nails by number. Each dash is sized specifically, so I measure them out before I apply. What I'm doing here is I use enough glue to last me up to 2 weeks. So I take the glue and I cover my entire nail in glue. And then I also take glue and I add about a pea-size amount to the nail dash itself, and you'll see me do that in one moment. Now I'm taking the nail dash and I'm putting it sort of underneath my cuticle at an angle. And then I'm pressing down. Now I go back and forth when I press them down to get all the air bubbles out, and I press down longer than what the box says to do. I just like to really make sure they're on there nice and tight. Like I said, I haven't had one pop off yet, and the longest I've had them on was for about 2 weeks without any falling off. So like I also use enough glue though to last that long. So if you get any extras on the side, you just take a Q-tip with either some rubbing alcohol on it, and you just wipe the side really quickly. So what you see me doing here is I'm just filing down the nails that are a little too long. Depending on your nail beds, you're going to have some nails that are too long and some that are just right. So I like to just make sure they all look evenly proportioned. And what I'm doing right here is just trimming down a nail because it is a little too long. So I'll trim this down and just file and buff it out. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. If you have any questions, just message me.